Hello and welcome back to somebody on the Football Zone and to an FA Cup review, reviewing the FA Cup games from this past weekend. And yeah, a chaotic round, starting off on Friday night with a replay of the Premier League game from last week, Wolves against Liverpool, and it was Liverpool who came away victorious this time out, a 3-1 win for them. And yeah, it was pretty comfortable, wasn't it, once they got the opener. Robertson, Salah and Curtis Jones the goals. Wolves got a consolation goal in the second half, but Liverpool, really played in the wrong right here, and in the end, a pretty comfortable win for them. Moving on into Mansfield 1, Arsenal 2 at Mansfield. And yeah, this was a really impressive performance from Mansfield. It's got to be said, they really took the game to Arsenal before Madueke with a bit of quality in the 41st minute gave them the lead. Mansfield equalised, deservedly so, before Eze broke their hearts. But yeah, Mansfield really went for it and really made Arsenal work, and in the end they got through just about. So yeah, big one for them. But for Mansfield, I think they can be incredibly proud of that performance, and I think definitely something for them to build off. So yeah, they'll be really I think happy with that performance. Moving on into Chelsea defeating Wrexham after extra time. Sam Smith gave Wrexham the lead in the 18th minute before an own goal from Okonkwo made it 1-1. Doyle made it 2-1 to Wrexham before Chelsea got an equaliser not long from time. And in stoppage time, Dobson got a sending off for Wrexham, which kind of harmed them. Garnacho made it 3-2. Wrexham thought they equalised, but no, ruled out for VAR, and João Pedro got the winner. So yeah, Phil Parkinson signed, giving Chelsea a scare, and they play really well here. But in the end, Chelsea just about squeaking through. Big result for them. And another disappointing result for Newcastle as they were defeated 3-1 by Man City. Man City, who made quite a lot of changes to be fair, but still got through. Harvey Barnes in the 18th minute gave Newcastle the lead before Savinho Marmoush with 2 gave City the win. In the end, yeah, you've got to say it was quite comfortable here. A really good win for Manchester City, and they'll be absolutely delighted with that. Yeah, obviously, it's a big one for them to keep in the mix for all the trophies. But for Newcastle, I think desperately disappointing. No trophies this season. Moving on into Fulham 0, Southampton 1 at Craven Cottage, and yeah, it was a penalty late on for Ross Stewart. And to be honest, Fulham dominated the game, but fair play to Southampton, they stayed in it and in the end got their just rewards. Good performance from Peretz, the goalkeeper. So yeah, they'll be absolutely delighted with that. But for Fulham, I just don't get making all of those changes when you're pretty mid-table and not really going for the FA Cup. It is baffling for me, but for Southampton, fair play to them, that's a great result. Moving on into Port Vale, stunning Sunderland 1-0. The side bottom of League One by a country mile. And yeah, Newcastle fan Wayne with a goal in the 28th minute, and from there on in, Port Vale defended really well and achieved this shock result. Kind of a similar story for Sunderland. So yeah, that's a great result for Port Vale and keeps their season going. So yeah, it was a brilliant result for them. But for Sunderland, desperately disappointing. And Port Vale, unbelievably, 1 game from Wembley. Not bad for a side bottom of League One. As we then moved on to Leeds 3, Norwich 0 at Ellen Road, and it was Nemecha with an own goal with a disallowed goal in the 19th minute before Longstaff, Goodmanson and Pirro scored for Leeds, and in the end it was pretty comfortable. Norwich didn't really offer much, and Leeds didn't really have to get out of second gear throughout the entire game, to be fair. So yeah, a pretty decent win for Leeds, and they'll be absolutely delighted with that, and gives them a real chance to kick on now and can maybe even get to Wembley. On Monday night, it was a draw game between West Ham and Brentford, and it finished 2-2 as we headed into penalties. Bowen with 2 goals for West Ham. Brentford equalised twice through Thiago. And yeah, in the penalty shootout, there were perfect penalties except for Utara, who attempted a Panenka, and let's just say it went horribly wrong. So a very frustrating way for Brentford to lose the game. But for West Ham, they advanced through, keeps their good run going. And I think Brentford, yeah, they'll be disappointed. They would have seen this as a winnable tie, so not to go through, I think, yeah, they'll be frustrated with for sure. Moving on then to a preview of the massive European action we've got coming up this week, starting off with Galatasaray against Liverpool, and I think Liverpool probably got a fortunate tie here. You definitely say Liverpool are the favourites, but Galatasaray, clear in the Turkish league, but yeah, you still expect this again, Liverpool will win. Tottenham away at Atletico Madrid, it's not really their priority at the moment, is it? And Atletico Madrid, having a pretty strong run of things, I would say, third in the league. I think, yeah, that's going to be a very tough trip for Tottenham, and they'll just be wanting to stay in track. Newcastle against Barcelona. Newcastle at the moment just not really on top form, are they? Barcelona top of the league, or I think that could be another top afternoon at Newcastle. They need to get the St James's Park atmosphere up for that one. As we then moved on to Arsenal against Leverkusen, not really the same team they were a few years ago, and you think Arsenal, having rested a few players at the weekend, should get a pretty comfortable win. And then for PSG, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Man City, those are going to be 2 very tough games, and I think for both these sides. They're wanting to stay in check and then kind of kick on in the home second legs. But yeah, I think both those teams, especially Chelsea, that those are going to be really tough rounds. But you know, maybe they're not quite the same teams we've seen in recent years. Who knows? Aston Villa have a tough trip for Lille as well, looking to arrest their recent poor form. But Lille not having the best season, you'd expect Villa to probably be favourites for that one. But away from home, I don't know. Maybe they'll take a draw. Forest at home to Midtjylland. You'd say Forest are probably the favourites here. I mean, obviously Forest not having a great season, but you still expect them to have enough. And Crystal Palace at home to AEK Larnaca. You'd expect a Palace win in that one, I'm pretty sure.
Guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily football news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.